Hi, my name is Pascal. Today we are going to talk through which cardio equipment you might want to get for your home gym. If you want more detail on the topic, then please follow the link in the description box below. I've written quite a long article about it, and you will find a little more detail than you can find in this video in writing. Without further ado though, let's get started on the different cardio options for your home gym. The list of cardio equipment you could possibly buy for your home gym is rather extensive. I will today go through kettlebells, airbikes, horizontal steppers, treadmills, and rowers, as I have written down here on my sheet of paper. So I will go through each option for you, the pros and cons, and what I have ultimately gotten for my home gym. I hope that will help you making your decision, because this one will actually take up quite a bit of space and budget out of your home gym. So put a bit of thought into the cardio area and the cardio equipment for your home gym to save some money or really get what you need and want. First item to discuss are kettlebells, and I think kettlebells are a great option for weight loss and also for toning yourself, which is a goal a lot of people want to achieve with their exercise regimen anyway. Not all people want to really go for long distance running or for strength like I do, and for those people actually kettlebells paired with the Simple and Sinister routine from Pavel Tsatsouline will get you the desired results as long as you keep the kitchen in check. So get yourself a couple of kettlebells. I usually recommend 3, 2 lighter ones that you can move in different directions fairly easily to cover all of the different exercise variations, and 1 heavier one, usually in the 16 to 24 kg area for kettlebell swings. With that, you are sorted for most scenarios for weight loss and tightening up your butt and get a bubble butt and whatever. Like all of these routines, they are covered with kettlebells. They're also quite cheap and they don't take up a lot of space. So what's not to like about them? Well, the only thing that might not be to like about them is that you can't really do long distance runs on them, like swinging kettlebells for an hour. That is not really that feasible. But if you really wanted to optimize for fat burn, then usually in calorie loss, then usually the longer the better on something like a treadmill. But then you have to weigh that up against the time you actually need to invest. So again, kettlebells, very, very high up on my list for a home gym for cardio, because they do basically everything you need with little time and money invested. Next one on my list would be airbikes. So what would I consider an airbike? An airbike is anything that has a big fan in the front where you can then actually use the handles and the feet to get your heart pumping and do your cardio. I personally think that is the best type of cardio equipment, bike, treadmill, whatever you can get in terms of bang for your buck. The Rogue Echo bike has been excellently designed and also has a fairly low price point, and I love an air bike for interval training. I think there's not a lot of equipment out there that you can find that is better in ramping up really, really fast and down, up and down in interval training. An air bike is, in my opinion, unparalleled as a machine for that type of exercise regimen. And that is also why I have one in my gym. I personally wouldn't get a treadmill for my gym because I think that is a waste of space and money, because they can get rather expensive and also eat up a lot of space. Whereas the air bike can actually nestle against the wall and then is a-okay. I should use it more, so I'm not using it as much as I would like to, because I'm training for strength 4 times a week, and then there's very little time left to then also get cardio sessions in between, taking care of the boys, some are working, and also getting these videos in. So Still, I think an Airbike, because you can get them for quite below €1,000 or dollars, and you will get a good machine that can either be used for long distance cardio by just going at a slow pace for an hour, or really high interval training without any kind of hassle. I think hands down the best thing you can get for your buck for your cardio needs in a home gym. Let's talk about treadmills next, my big pet peeve. Well, treadmills I think are very popular in gyms, and I don't really get why. Because if you want to run, and if you are a runner who competes, you go outside for a run. Now, I understand that in some areas, in urban areas, it's not really great to run, or you don't feel safe in the park next to you. That is all fine and nice, and I totally get that. But ultimately, whenever you can, and if you're taking running serious and you want to run, and I have run 3 marathons myself, so I tend to know a bit about it, then you just go outside and get your miles in. Now, if you are looking at cardio just to lose weight or to move, well, either go for a walk outside rather than walking on the treadmill, again, bar the safety kind of aspects, or if you're very old, you'd rather do it in the house, because who knows what might happen on the walk, right, while you're out. So that I get, but then you don't really need a running treadmill, then you just need a walking treadmill, and they're rather cheap, and they can be also pushed under a bed if you want to. But what I really don't get are these really expensive and big treadmills that people get for their home gym. I just don't get it, because these things with the screens on them, they cost $1,500, $2,000, and for that you can get an entire gym with a couple of kettlebells in there. And if you really want to lose weight, well, you will lose weight with all of that stuff that you bought for $1,500 to $2,000. And also with the entertainment options, nowadays you can get a really decent telly mounted to the wall for less than €500. Like the combo of it, and then you hook it up to the Wi-Fi and you go on YouTube and you have everything you need in terms of online instructor kind of stuff that you might possibly want. Yes, I get some of this very fancy stuff is cool, and if you have unlimited space and unlimited money like Oprah or Shaquille O'Neal, well, kind of unlimited, near to, then be my guest, plaster your home gym with these monster machines. But otherwise, sorry for the rant, but I really don't get having a treadmill in your home gym, because you can just get a pair of runners and go outside. You will get a way better training effect out of it, and it's a lot cheaper. I only get it if you are a runner and you have to get the miles in, and the weather in your local area just doesn't really allow for it all year round to get 100 to 200 miles in. But then still some hardcore runners would say, well, don't be a pansy, just get it done. Now, I won't say that to everybody. I will accept safety and urban issues to get a treadmill in. But if you're just doing it for the weight loss, there are way cheaper options that eat up way less space in your home gym that you can go for. Next category to discuss would be horizontal steppers. The brand in mind is Versaclimber, and those machines are the absolute best you can get if you want to burn as many calories as possible in the shortest amount of time. However, these machines are also quite expensive. Like, they come in at $2,000, €2,000 plus. Some exceptions on the lower end with the Versaclimber H model, the home model, which is only $1,000 ish. But that is really something where I say, if you have the money, it's great, but most people won't. So I wouldn't be placing a Versaclimber for 3,000 bucks into my home gym to get the most calories burned per minute. Like I really would spend the 3,000 on Rogue Rhino or a proper lat pull setup that I don't have. But that is also tied to my personal preferences, because I'm really into strength and not that much into cardio anymore, even though I have run 3 marathons and know at least a tad bit what I'm talking about when it comes to cardio. So these machines, those Versaclimbers, horizontal steppers, if you really want to burn as much calories as possible per minute, that's the way to go. They also don't really take up a lot of floor space, which I think makes them a preferable option over a treadmill, but they cost a bit more than treadmills because they're less common in the market, and Versaclimber has a tight grip on the market. Last category to talk about would be rowers, and I think ellipticals also kind of take the same space and place and money. If it is between rowers and ellipticals, I would always go for a rower over an elliptical, because the rowers are usually less expensive and are easier to store away, but do kind of the same thing for you. So if you're thinking about a rower, you're most likely thinking about keeping as little impact on your joints as possible, which a rower definitely does. The trade-off for that is that rowers and ellipticals burn a lot less calories per minute than a horizontal stepper, a treadmill, or an Airbike would do. But, you know, if you are looking into a rower, you probably want a bit of a lower intensity anyway, unless you want to get as many miles as possible in for rowing and you don't really have access to an area to row on the water all year around. Also with rowers, they come in very, very different shapes and sizes. Some are a bit better at simulating rowing on water, some are worse. Usually with a Concept 2 Model D, most people will be fine. It is not that expensive compared to these other swanky models that you've seen Kevin Spacey sitting on. I mean, the Kevin Spacey sat on them probably might even be not helpful to purchase one nowadays, but anyway, that's a different debate to have. The Concept 2 rowers Model D, they've been in use all around the world. You've seen them in almost every gym. So if you decide for one, you're not doing a lot wrong, as long as you get your goal sets right. I think also a rower is a bit better than a treadmill, because at least with a bit of grease, you can hang it up on the wall, whereas treadmills are treadmills. I've gone over that point. So, you know, if you want a rower, get a rower. And ellipticals, same thing as with treadmills. They're usually quite clunky, they're quite expensive. You get kind of the same training effect out of them than out of a rower. Actually, you burn more calories on a rower per minute on average than with an elliptical. So I would always recommend a rower over an elliptical if you're torn between the two. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. Tell your friends about it. Otherwise, hopefully I see you soon, and have a nice day. Bye bye.